everybody, and welcome back to our very special Frame Fatales Game of the Month one-off that we are celebrating together tonight. A lovely Friday evening where we have tons of wonderful games put on by our members of the Fatales community. Now, again, really quick rundown. The Game of the Month, we like to pick a game where everyone in the community or whoever wants to participate gets to speedrun, basically, play it casually, have a lot of fun, submit to the leaderboard if they choose. And we're going through some of the games of the month that took place in 2024. So we just saw Plants vs. Zombies, which was is our game of the month currently, actually. And we're going back through some of our favorites of this year as well. So it's sure to be exciting. Before we toss over to that one, just a quick announcement. GDQ 2025 will be live from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania from January 5th to 12th. Registration and hotel booking are now open, so make sure to go to gamesdonequick.com and check the GDQ 2025 important date section, and you can learn more and maybe come join us in person. It's going to be super fun. So I'm not going to keep all of you any longer because I am very excited to introduce our next runner here for her very first GDQ appearance. I am very excited to introduce you to my very good friend, Kara, who will be taking us through Skator Gator 3D Any %. How we doing, Kara?
Oh, we're doing so good. I'm definitely not terrified and nervous. I don't even know why you would think that. I'm great. How are you, Lana?
I'm amazing. Thanks for asking.
You are amazing.
No, you.
Hi, everyone. My name is Kara, also known as Oh Hey It's Kara, but that's just my name with extra words in front of it, so you can just call me Kara. I'm going to be running Skator Gator 3D. This is a very fast-paced run, and I'm doing my own commentary, which is a speed run in its own right. So before we get started, just a quick overview. If you've played a Sonic the Hedgehog game, you have a general idea of what this is going to be like. There's going to be rail grinding sections, there's going to be 3D platforming sections, and you want to go fast. And also there's a polluted swamp full of malicious mechanical animals, and you're trying to save the day / also the environment. And those are the basics. Everything else we're going to cover when we get into the run. So, oh my gosh, let's do it in...
Let's do it!
3, 2, 1, go. All right, this is our first of 13 levels. Get that deed back. That is a reference to the lore of this game. Look at that mean, toothy robot up there. That robot has stolen the deed to our family's swamp. We got to get it back. That's the lore. We've got rail sections and platform sections. There's boosting on rails, but we'll talk more about that a little later. Let's talk about moving on the ground. We want to be touching the ground as little as possible. So, just going to play a little safe there. Would prefer not to goof up on the first level. Okay, there's a lot of tiny little optimizations in this run, which also means there's a lot of ways to recover, which is something I really like about it. I make mistakes in this run constantly, and you can still get a pretty decent time. Another piece of platforming movement tech is the Super Dash, which I just did right there. I'm playing as, the skin that I have right now is Gilded Gary, who's very sparkly. So there's always stars coming out of me, but if you see extra stars coming out of my gator butt, and I did get permission to say the words gator butt, that's how you know I've done a super jump, or a super dash. Which just means that I'm jumping directly out of a dash. That's going to be important for a lot of the developer-intended shortcuts. Now, I say developer-intended because there's a glitch that we use, and I just used it. It's happened so fast. What even was that? I will tell you. I will answer that question for you. That is called a teledash. This was discovered, I can never remember, either during the beta or the demo of this game. There are these square boost pads scattered around the levels. If you pause the game while your feet are touching a boost pad, the game gets confused and builds up a ton of extra momentum. When you unpause the game, it will rocket you forward. Whoops! Okay, I cannot believe I recovered there. I am doing very weird things with the camera. Okay, that's like not that hard of a trick, but
You're killing it.
Thanks, Lana. I feel great. This is honestly how I feel every time I run this game. It's so frantic, but I really love it. So you might ask, why don't we do that teledash constantly? I see these pads everywhere. And the answer is, while it technically does work on every boost pad, we can't control where that teleport drops us. So a lot of them will just drop us into a pit or a wall or a swamp. And so we just use the ones that are beneficial. This is the first of our 3 auto-scroller boss levels. No platforms, just rails. So let's talk about rail boosting a little bit. When you boost on a rail, you are for a few frames committed to that boost. That means you cannot jump out of it or change rails. This means that if you boost too close to the end of a rail, you won't be able to jump out in time and you will fall into a swamp of doom and sadness, which is not what we want. Doom and sadness, not what... So just like that, I did that on purpose to demonstrate what happens if you don't get the boost timing. What this means is that, if I was going for a world record or a PB right now, I'd be taking a ton of extra rail boost. This is a good example right here. I'm gonna boost here, but then there are all these little short pipes. Yeah, you can technically boost on all of those. The current world record run boosts on all of those. But it's super tricky. Whoops. Okay, I definitely have got some live event nerves, but that's fine. This is another dev-intended shortcut. So yes, I am not going to be doing most of those risky boosts. I'm going to take a couple, because I'm a daredevil, I'm a gambler. And we'll just hope for the best. There's our first cutscene skip. This game has cutscenes. And we are about to see our first of the 2 power-ups that this game has to offer. The electric whoops. That's not what it's called. It's not called the electric whoops. That would be a delightful name. It sounds like a fun dance move. Lana, I have got the yips right now. It's going so good. This is the electric eel. What does the electric eel do? Trick question, it does 2 things. Thing number 1, when you dash with the... One moment, please. Okay, when you dash the electric eel, you get a shield that protects you from enemies and projectiles. Thing number 2, when you change rails with the electric eel, it fires a bolt of electrical energy. This is how we're going to defeat the boss at the end. Now, let's rewind a little bit. You decided to teledash, and if you are a keen-eyed viewer, and I know you are, you may have noticed that I paused and unpaused twice. Why did I do that? Well, the timing is weird here now. Everything's going great. That's literally my least favorite part of the run.
Woo!
But now we're through it. We're through it on the other side.
We got it. Easy peasy.
Easy game, easy life, Lana. That's what I always say. Whoops. Okay. Okay, Kara, breathe. Everything's fine. You love this game. You love gaming. You're a gamer. Okay, so these teledashes, they are fickle creatures. They're finicky beasts. They have some strange properties. Oh my god, I can't believe I made that. One of those strange properties is that some teledashes, when you drop out of the teleport, you will have this weird backwards momentum, which, especially if it's on a rail, can be a huge time loss. So in my runs of this game, I've spent a lot of time doing, let's call it science, which is my word for trial and error and panic button mashing, to try to figure out why that's happening, or at the very least, how to prevent it. One moment, I'm coming up on Murder Alley. Okay, slowed down on Murder Alley, but I didn't get murdered, and that's what is the most important thing about Murder Alley. So it seems to be that on these teledashes, if you double pause buffer, it seems to solve the backwards momentum problem. Now, I don't know why that works, and I'm not even sure that what I think is happening actually is happening. So if you're a part of the Skator Gator community, or if you're thinking about joining the Skator Gator community, come do some science with me. I would love to get like a definitive answer on what's happening there. Also, very quickly, that was a real blink and you miss it. Also, probably you can miss it without blinking. I just did a little 1-frame delay there so that B would go past me instead of running into me. It's so tiny, but I love doing it. I for years, I was a fan of speedrunning before I started running myself, and I would see these runs and watch these runners. They would talk about frame-perfect tricks. And I would think, well, I would love to speedrun, but I can't do a frame-perfect trick. 1/60th of a second? Are you joshing me? But then, a couple years ago, I tried it out, and it took me a while, but in Dark Souls of all games, I did my first frame-perfect trick. and you can do them in this game too. I know that this sounds like an after-school special for gamers, but like, you can do it. You can do a frame perfect trick. If I can do it, you can do it. So we've got our second auto-scroller boss level. This time our rival does get a health bar, but we are not able to defeat them this time around. They don't get a name though. They are still question mark, question mark, question mark. Or as I like to say, huh? That's a joke just for me. That's just for me, that one.
I'm laughing, Kara. I'm laughing.
Thanks, Lana. Oh gosh, okay, that jump I literally just learned this week from watching the current world record run, and it makes me so happy because I've been looking for a way to make that section smoother for a while, and then, now it happens. Okay, I'm sorry, I got so excited about the last jump. I'm doing very good at playing it safe, though. So we are now in the third and final section of the game, Nighttime, where we also have our second and final power-up of the game, the Dragon Wings, which give us a double jump. We are going to, wherever possible, try to save up and chain these double jumps to make certain skips easier, or in some cases, possible. That jump that I just did is a developer-intended shortcut. It's easy and quick with 2 wings. It's scary and or slow with 1 wing. And it is possible with 0 wings. And in so many of my practice runs this week, I have done it with 0 wings. And I'm so glad that I got to do it with 2 wings just now. But if you thought that was intense, folks, 2 wings, pshaw to you, I say. We are about to, if I do this correctly, get 5 wings. This is one of my favorite movement sections. That was pretty good. 5 wings is more than we need, but it's nice to have them for safety, because what's gonna happen is I'm about to do a teledash. We go 1, 2, 3, pause, and we teleport over a swamp of death. And so we're gonna use those wings to double jump and dash our way out. Okay, it's factory time. Factory is the final platforming level and second to last level of the run. Folks, we're almost there. It's been such a whirlwind. Factory is home to, maybe you've guessed, a trick called Factory Skip. Factory Skip was, for a time, considered to be the hardest trick in the run. Since then, other tricks have been found that I think are much harder. But Factory Skip is still a pretty big skill check for anyone learning this run, and we're gonna see it right now. And Lana, I'm giving you a first try promise right now. Why would I do that? Why would I say that? Here we go. Okay, part 1, we're good. Nope! Why did I promise you a first try? Okay, this is good. This is just so I can this gives me more time to explain how it works. So, since the early days of platforming games, there has been, I'm goofing up right now, this is a full goof right now. Since the early days of platformers, designers discovered that if you program a game to have the character fall the second they're not standing on solid ground, it makes sense, but boy, it just doesn't feel right. Okay, hey, second try Factory Skip, not bad. First try, that's right.
Yeah!
So Coyote Time gives you a couple frames of grace where the game treats you as if you are on the ground even though you're not. So we take advantage of that to drop out of that teledash and jump. Uh-oh. We're fine. Sometimes the wrong bit of muscle memory kicks in and I try and do a teledash. There's no teledash there, but thankfully it's going so well. Anyway, so there's a coyote jump into a double jump super dash. It took me so long to learn, but boy, it feels good to get it right. Hey, it's the final level of the game. We learn the name of our rival. It's Trader Gator. And like the Banshees of old, now that we know their name, we can defeat them. And we're gonna defeat them very quickly. This section, this level has 2 very long sections that you are intended to go through, but that's so slow. So I am doing a precise series of lane changes and dashes to get in a couple extra hits, and that's Trader Gator right there. We're about to come up on time. When I hit that deed, it's gonna be time. We don't even see that second section. Time.
Wow!
Oh my God!
You did it! That was amazing!
That's Skator Gator 3D, everyone! I'm seeing here that was a 9:47 in-game time, which is like respectable for a live run, I think. Do you know what my real time was?
Yeah, I've got 11:32.
I will, you know what? I told Lana between 11 and 12 minutes, and that is almost exactly.
That's pretty much.
I feel great about that. That's a win in my book all by itself.
Yay!
I am so glad I got to show off this game. This game's been shown off on GDQ a few times, and I just think it's so fun. If it looks fun to you, I cannot more strongly suggest try it out. Whether it's speedrun or it's also just like a super charming casual game. The movement is super smooth. Try it out. Also, there is before Skator Gator 3D, Weathered Sweater, the team behind this, made a game called Skator Gator, or as I call it, Skator Gator 2D. And you should run that one too, because no one runs it. There's 3 people on the leaderboard. I'm the world record, but it's like not a very good run. Like, you should play Skater Gator 2D and you should take my world record from me. The Weathered Sweater Discord server is super friendly. You can find that on the speedrun.com page for this game. And even more amazing than this game are the Frame Fatales, because they're how I found this game in the first place, through Game of the Month. It was the first game of the month when I joined Fatales, and it's the first speedrun that I ever felt like really good about. And a lot of that is because the Fatales are just such an incredible community, and I feel so, I want to say the word chuffed, but I'm too American for it. I'm just so pleased and honored to be a part of them. So if you are interested in speedrunning, and if you identify as femme in any way that's meaningful to you, I just, please come join the Fatales. You are not going to find a more lovely bunch of humans pretty much anywhere. So thank you to the Fatales for having me. Thank you to Games Done Quick for having me. I'm going to go, I don't know how I'm going to work off this adrenaline. If you want to see more of me, I'm on twitch.tv/ohheyitskara. I'm a full-time streamer, so I'm there a lot. Come on by. We do speedrunning and a lot of other things that aren't speedrunning. And I'm looking at my notes, and that's all the things that I'm supposed to say. Thanks, Lana.
Amazing.
Thanks, Fatales. Thanks, GDQ. This is like a dream come true for me.
Aw, well, thanks so much for being a part of our Frame Fatales Game of the Month celebration, Kara. It is always a pleasure to work with you, and of course, you're such a joy, and based on the chat, they agree. So thank you so much for showing off our Game of the Month from February/March. It was our first one of 2024. So big thanks to that. We are going to be getting ready for our next run very shortly, where we will be taking you through some neon beats with my good friend Metroid Crime. So stick around for that. Just a quick announcement. Make sure to join the official GDQ Discord and add the Hotfix role, where you can keep tabs on upcoming events, talk with staff, and more. You can use !Discord and Twitch chat for more info. So now is a great time. We're going to take a little bit of a break, get some stretches in, whatever you need, and we will catch you back right after this for more of our Frame Fatales Game of the Month special.